We got our recording device rolling, so let's stand, please, and we'll have a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for a new day and for opportunity to come to take care of county business, and we ask for your guidance and direction on each agenda item that we would make the appropriate decision. We thank you for those that were involved in the cleanup of the tragic wreck over the weekend, and we just pray for the gentleman who is now without a family. We just ask that you would wrap your arms around him and provide him comfort that we can't even understand. We pray for the continued protection of our first responders and those that serve in our military all over this world. Just protect them and bring them home safely. We thank you for those that have attended today. In whatever capacity they are here, we just ask your blessing now on this meeting. In Christ's name, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, today's our final meeting of the month of March 2018. It is the 26th, and it's just after 9 a.m. And we'll begin with public comment time. Agenda item number 1, non-agenda item discussion in accordance with our Open Meetings Act. Is there anyone that would like to address the court at this time? I'll move on to item number 2, and that is to possibly approve minutes from the March 12th meeting 2 weeks ago, our first and regular meeting of the month of March.
Make a motion.
Motion's made by, I didn't see who made that. Motion's made by Commissioner Applewhite for approval.
I'll second it.
And seconded by Commissioner Parker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, item number 3, just walked in. Welcome, Ronnie. Ronnie Williams is here. Ronnie's been helping us maintain, repair, expand our Christmas lighting on the courthouse building, and he would like to talk to us. I know part of it involves some hail damage. So, Ronnie, welcome to the meeting. If you'll step up here to the agenda, and what do we need to know, what do we need to decide about our Christmas lights now that it's April nearly?
Okay, thank you, Judge. The hailstorm got about 99.5% of the Christmas bulbs. I have spoken with the Inception Company, which is one that does the city lights. They get $15 a foot, and we got 860 feet of lights on the building. That comes to $12,900, and that's just to purchase them. Now that does come with the controller that controls them, like the city lights does. You could turn them different colors. They are LED bulbs. They get $8 per person for labor, and they said they usually send at least 4 on something that's this big. They would have to take down the current incandescent lights and install the new ones. Runs about $768. And
What's the 768? The removal?
Okay, well, that is to remove and install the new ones. That is the labor for removing and installing the new LED lights. I checked with another company, and I can buy they sell it a case of 24 times 16 foot 8 inches, and then you just plug these together. They are They are a smaller version of the LED lights that are currently on the city. They had a hard time describing it to me, but he said he thought it was a little smaller bulb. They get $264 for a case of the 16-foot, 8-inch bulb, or light streamers. So I figured that up, and it's going to take about 51 cases to get our 860 feet. And that comes to $13,464. And then that, I had a $308 controller that they would have to add onto that. And then the labor, I just put down plus labor, because on that, if we went that route, then I would furnish the labor. And I would just be guessing, but I'm guessing about 32. It's gonna take us, if I go, okay, let me back up, get ahead of myself. Okay, if the bulbs that you have on the building right now are a C9 based bulb, and that's in the C9 socket that is replaceable. The light wires have been up there about 6 years. I replaced them about 6 years ago. I'm getting, when the city used this 12-gauge light streamer wire, I get an average of about 15 years on the wire itself. We got 15 years on the white wire that was on the city, and it deteriorates faster than the black, which is on the building. Okay, so you're looking about 10 to 15 years on your wire and the sockets. I cannot tell that the hail damaged the sockets. Okay, if I go with or I can get a C9 LED bulb, which will be the same size bulb that is on there now, but it will be the LEDs. And I might emphasize, the American National Bank had the LED bulbs that I had put on there, and I went down there the other day and switched them on, and I did not see a bulb out of the bank. When I bought the LEDs for the bank, the guy told me that hail didn't bother me. You could drive over them. And I tested it. I don't know about the hail until the other day, but I know you can drive over them. Okay, I can get the 860 feet divided by the 15 inches, which is the spacing on your current bulb, and I come up with about 650 LED C9 bulbs for $709.50. And put the labor, and this is a guess, but put the labor at 32 hours, and there'd be two of us, one draw 10 and the other 20. So we put that labor at $960. And then the guy out here at the lift rental place told me it would depend on what time of the year I wanted or needed the lift. And he told me to put down between $500 and $800 on the lift. And I think I could do a little better on the lift at another place, but that'd give us an estimate, and it will still determine what time of the year we do this. Now, if we go LED bulbs, there's really not any, we can do it any time of the year because if you did get another hailstorm, it won't hurt the LED bulb. So we could, we could do that anytime. The C9 incandescent bulbs are getting harder to find, but I got one price of a case price of $2,000 at 35 cents each. And that, I sure wouldn't recommend going back to those. Just, now we've been fortunate, I don't know how many times, if ever, since I've been doing it, we haven't had a hailstorm knock out that many, so, all of them.
Okay, so you've got several options. Let's kind of start at the bottom. You start at the bottom and you buy more incandescents to replace the incandescents that were damaged at 35 cents a piece. You're still going to have your labor, you're still going to have your lift.
Yes.
And so we're saving the difference in those LED bulbs and an incandescent bulb. The LED bulb sounds like it's a little over $1 a piece. That sound about right?
Yes, sir.
$1.10 or so. So you're just saving a few $100s if you went back with incandescent, which are vulnerable for damage and require more power.
Yes, sir, and they did say the LED bulbs are estimated at 30,000 run hours.
Okay. All right, so that the cheapest would be to replace the incandescents. The next step up for a few $100s more would be go back with a white LED.
Yes.
And that's like American National has.
Well, when I got the American National, I got a little less grade of LED bulbs, and I would not recommend going with those. This one is a step up of LED bulbs. I put those in 2 houses last year at the country club, and neither one of them had any damaged bulbs. But it is the white bulb, and it's more, instead of a flat surface, it's got the spiral surfaces. It looks like it's a little heavier gauge glass or whatever the LED bulb is made out of, but it's a better bulb.
Okay, does it have a bluish white light or a natural incandescent?
It looks to me white. At those houses we put out there at the country club, we run them last year, and they look white to me. Now they might have a little small blue tint to it, but the resident said she couldn't tell any difference.
Okay. And then after we leave those two options, then we consider whether or not we want to spend a lot of money and get in line with the city. And I haven't even talked to Jacob or anybody else at the city about that. I would say we need to talk with them. I don't know what their expectations are of the county to eventually go to a bulb like they've gone to, but that's going to be a major investment that I would say we would talk to Jacob about before we decide anything.
Yes, I tried to speak with him the other day. Matter of fact, that's where I got the name of this company, because his assistant, he was going to be out for a couple of days. So his assistant gave me this name of this Inception company.
Okay, all right. Well, unless y'all want to make a decision right here, what do you think about having Jacob address the court, or come talk to me, or talk to one of you all about what he would like to see the county do? I don't know that he wants us to do anything. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, maybe he doesn't care. But why don't we postpone this decision? At least we have an idea that to go back with a replacement LED bulb that would be more durable and would replace all of our broken bulbs, it looks to me like we're talking about $2,500 roughly. And if you were to go with those LEDs, you're talking about approaching $14,000, $15,000.
And another good point too, of course, the courthouse has the electric power. It has ran all of these incandescent lights, and they're 7-watt bulbs a piece. And the LEDs only draw 0.58 watts a piece. So your electrical consumption with an LED bulb is greatly less. That's an important factor when if you didn't have the electric power, because we used to be able to only run 300 feet of our 7-watt bulbs and plug it up into a 20-amp circuit, and you can run these about indefinite.
Okay. Well, thank you for putting all those bids together. I have no idea what we'll want to do. Let's hear from anybody else that would like to chime in on this. Of course, that going with the city's type of bulbs, they tend to burn theirs all the time.
Yes, sir.
As opposed to just during the Christmas season like we have been doing ours. Okay. Well,
Judge, I definitely think we need to get this fixed, but I also think we need to coordinate with the city, try to work together on
why don't we at least listen to what the city has to say? Again, I'd hate to assume what their wishes would be of us, but I sure don't want to make a decision to spend that kind of money until we have an idea what the city's wanting us to do. Okay. Ronnie, thank you very much. I'm going to ask that y'all table this, and let me see if I couldn't get somebody from the city to address us on this matter.
I make a motion to table.
Okay, motion to table by Commissioner Parker. Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Item number 4 is our road engineer report. Roger's here, Phillips here, welcome.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning. Well, let's start out by talking about the dumpsters. All the dumpsters should be in place today. Apparently we had a little miscommunication, and I think one of the things that we did wrong, we need to make sure we give Republic more than 2 weeks notice before we put them out. I think it was just hard for them to get there in time. So next year we need to make sure before we go out with a date to the public, we need to make sure we can get the dumpsters there on that date. And I think that was one of the biggest problems we had with this. So we just need to make sure we don't make that same mistake we did this year, next year. Okay.
When were they supposed to be there? What was the?
They were supposed to be there Saturday.
Okay.
And they're not getting there till today.
It must have been invisible.
They're there.
Well, some of them are there. I don't think they're all there yet. I don't think they have but one guy that actually puts them out. And we've got, how many dumpsters? 17?
17.
Actually hired 2 extra people, so I think I had 3 trucks running to get them all out. They started from 4 a.m. this morning.
We've got a total of how many bins
17.
out? 17 among the 4 precincts. Okay. So that was the problem. They just couldn't get to them, or we had given them wrong dates?
A little bit of both. Whenever I talked to her, whenever I got back last Monday, I told her that it was going to be this next week, and she was wanting to see if she could push it back until the next week after that. And talked to somebody, and they said no. So I told her just as soon as she could to get them out, and she asked me the dates, and I just quickly looked at the calendar, and I thought I was starting Monday. And we started picking them up Monday, which I've been doing it for several years. I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess sleep deprivation or something. Anyway, Monday, I thought it was Monday to Monday, but it's actually Saturday to Saturday, because we always run into Monday, Tuesday, trying to get everything picked up and cleaned up. I guess is what I was thinking.
Ideally, they would do what, deliver late Friday or something like that?
Yes, yeah. And after I sent that email, she asked me, she sent an email back and said, you know, it's okay to start putting it out tomorrow. And I said, absolutely, which was last Friday and Saturday, which, come to find out, her people, or she was thinking that that's when they was going to start putting them out, and they ended up not putting them out.
In other words, we thought we were gonna get the dumpsters Friday,
Okay.
but
Just
it
by
didn't
her
happen.
email, whenever she asked me if she could put them out early, which was starting tomorrow, which was that Friday, and that, come to find out, they didn't have the people, or they didn't have the dumpsters rounded up, or something, and it didn't happen.
And
She
all-
apologized, she said that she would add more people to get them all out and start early this morning, like 4 a.m. this morning. That's what the text that I sent y'all.
But our residents didn't go along with that, and they started
When they
piling.
started dumping.
So we've got piles of trash. Do we need to extend the period of time in light of the fact that we shortchanged them 2 weekend days?
I'm not real sure we can, if we can get the dumpsters a few more days or not.
We can extend it out. I mean, we usually extend it out anyway, because it's usually from Saturday to Saturday, and like I said, I mentioned earlier, by the time we get them all compacted, you know, get them where they can come pick them up, because they have a limited number of trucks that can pick them up also, and they have other accounts besides ours. They're usually out until like Tuesday or Wednesday anyway, so.
And we got 2 crews out today, is gonna be picking up the trash that's on the ground and putting it in the dumpster, so we should have everything cleaned up that's on the ground.
All right, well, I'll let y'all chime in on this as far as additional days or not.
It's probably not a problem, except if y'all want me to, I'll check with her to see if we can extend it a couple of days.
They won't start picking those dumpsters up to that.
To Monday anyhow.
Monday anyway, so I think we're okay.
That's, I thought that they don't normally pick them up till Monday to start with.
That's correct, and then by the time they get them all picked up, it's usually Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right, so I don't think there's any need to extend it.
Since some of them have gotten a head start anyway by dumping. And I'm not trying to be funny, I'm just saying, but so maybe extending it is not necessary?
If you see the ground, they're just piled up out there.
That would be my recommendation, not to extend it, but we'll do whatever the court wants
Okay.
us to do.
All right. Anybody got a thought there? Just let it ride as it's designed to be, and they'll pick them up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in that time frame? Okay. All right.
That sounds good. All right,
Well, let's plan for next year. This is a good time of the year to do this, the last half of, is it a good thing to coincide with spring break? Would that be a good thing to do, or not necessarily?
probably not, I would think, because if people are going to leave town, they're not going to be able to participate.
Well, why don't we make arrangements with Republic and say, will you book us for the next many years? Well, and what did you tell them? I mean, if we have a same repeating date.
Boxes about this time of the year, and she said that it was in the back of her mind, and it was in the back of my mind also. And I had already contacted her probably a week before y'all said that school was going to do this. She had changed phone numbers, so it took about 4 or 5 days before she got back with me. And I told her when we was planning on doing it, and she had already started running boxes at that point. They just don't keep 17 boxes here in Mount Pleasant location. That's what the problem is.
Well, why don't you ask them, would the third week of March be a good, solid time frame for the county to reserve these? And if they say, oh, if you could give us 1 more week, or if you could back it up into earlier March, in other words, let's do something that works well for everybody. But whatever that is, let's get it booked so that they know and they've got a year advance warning. And we kind of work ourselves around their schedule as far as letting, the Tribune and the radio stations know what it's going to be, because people obviously look forward to this, and if we can make it a regular thing.
I will. And the other thing that I think we probably could have done different is whenever I realized that it wouldn't be until Monday, and the paper has already sent it out on Saturday, that maybe kind of contact them and say, hey, it's going to be Monday before they can get them out. That's
Contact who?
the
The paper.
Yeah.
And radio station.
Might have helped a little. I got a feeling they were ready to dump.
Yeah, I do too.
A lot of pent-up demand.
Once you tell them, I don't think you can take it back, so.
Well, it won't happen again. Any other comments on that subject? Okay.
All right, the next topic is sale of equipment at the Ritchie Brothers sale. We didn't do as good as we thought we would. The Champion Maintainer sold for $22,500, and the Seaman Mixer sold for $27.50. We were hoping to get at least $30,000 out of the Maintainer, but we didn't get it.
$10,000 worth of tires on it.
They had new tires on it, so,
So I'm saying $10,000 worth of tires on it.
yeah.
Are you able to put a minimum bid in?
Not at Ritchie Brothers.
I don't think we need to go to Ritchie Brothers no more.
Probably can't. I thought it'd do better just that because it had a bigger audience.
That's a waste. We give that thing away.
Can't put a reserve on it, and
No.
they won't let you put a reserve on it, and to me, that's the only way to go, is put a reserve on it, and if it don't bring that, then bring it back and try something else.
They're laughing all with the bank that.
So they won't let you put a minimum.
No. No, it sales.
I just think we need to do away with Ritchie Brothers. Go back to where we was going.
Yeah.
Gone. At least we know we've got where we stand there.
Right. We could put a minimum on it. I thought it'd do better than it did.
That's pretty. We only got, we sold a Volvo and got 40-something thousand for it 5 years ago with 2,000 hours on it, 2,100 and some hours.
Well, we still lost through here. We just throw the Maintainer away. We could have put a reserve on it with the McGonigal. At least we could have had it back. We still would have had it instead of giving it away.
And the mixer, how much? 27,
$27.50.
like 2,750? What were we hoping for there?
Whatever we could get.
Okay.
It wasn't in very good shape.
They bought it for parts. Whoever bought it, they're not going to spend the money to get it.
So we'd have been pleased with what, 30,000 on the Maintainer?
Yeah, they told us they thought it'd go between 30 and 40, so if we'd got 30 out of it, I'd been happy with it.
We had to pay them 10% on
Yeah,
top
we got to
of
pay
that.
10% of this
So
to them.
they made money, we lost.
Right.
So we netted $20,000 out of it.
Yeah, what we got for the Seaman Mixer would pay the, or 10%.
Is there any paperwork that shows who sold at the auction? All that?
Yeah, I need to go buy it back from him.
I don't know, we'll have to check, but you need paperwork? Okay. All right, as far as the work we're doing right now, we're still patching potholes throughout the county. We're still doing some work on some structure ends that have washed out. We replaced the structure that had undermined and eroded out due to the rusted out corrugated metal pipe that was in Silver Lake Circle. I don't know if you knew what happened over there, but we ended up replacing the pipe.
Yes.
This one was
I
like 6
went
foot
over-
deep, so it ended up
Went
being a
over and
pretty
looked
good
at
task.
it and called Philip, the judge had talked to me about it, and y'all got it fixed, got it fixed Friday. It's pretty quick turnaround.
And that had, what caused that hole underneath there, the way that resident was describing it to me?
Old corrugated pipe, they've only got a shelf life of probably 10, 15 years, and it just rusted out on the bottom of it. And that road's been there longer, but there's so much soil on top of it that it just takes several years for it to just cave in. When we washed out underneath. This actual hole that caused that on the right-hand side was where the band was, where it's just, they banded it together. It was to get the leak out of it. And once it rusted out, it sunk. And then the water had found its way down to that. And then that's what pushed the hole out on that side. Once we got that, where that hole is, the rest of it was just underneath it. It would have kept mining underneath it and might have lasted, another 10, 15 years,
So new, how long is that culvert?
We put it
48 back in place.
48?
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty deep.
Yes, it was good 6 foot of cover on the fire.
And we doubled the size.
What'd y'all go back with?
We went back with a 24. There was a 12 in place.
Okay. So you had to dig the old one out, tear up the road, put the new one in, put the
Right.
road back.
And
But
you're talking about-
it's all done, that project's done?
It's done.
Good deal, all right.
Use our new soil compactor to, pack it all in so that hopefully it will sink us.
And then they topped it off with some coal mix.
Okay.
So. And another thing, to rust out those pipes, if you put the fly ash base, if you backfill the corrugated metal pipe on top with fly ash base, that fly ash apparently eats those pipes up pretty fast there. But we replaced several of them where the top of the pipe is rusted out, and the bottom's still good, but the top's gone. And most of them, we had fly ash base on top of them. So we're trying to go with more plastic pipe now than we did with corrugated metal pipe. Most of our runoff in this area has got kind of a high acid content. The pH is a little on the low side, and that contributes to rusting out these corrugated metal pipes faster. That's why we didn't use them at the state. They wouldn't last but about 10 years.
What'd you put out there on Silver Leaf, Silver Creek, whatever?
We used a plastic pipe.
Plastic, okay. 24 by 48 plastic.
Yes.
Plastic will last forever unless you have a fire.
It should. Yeah, the only thing bad about plastic, they do have a tendency to egg shape a little bit over time due to the load on top of them. But they will burn. So if somebody burns leaves in the end of a plastic pipe, it will burn the pipe off. But other than that, it's easy to it's easier to handle. It won't rust. So I think plastic pipe's the way to go. Okay, we're also working to make our own coal mix again out of Precinct 1 mixing field. We're still getting some non-spec oil for free from Ergon. Hopefully we can get some better weather pretty soon. We can start using this material. We're probably going to mix a little talco crude with it to kind of liven it up. This stuff's pretty stiff that we're getting from Ergon. We'll use some of the talco crude, liven it up, and hopefully we can start fixing base failures throughout the county with it. We got a lot of base failures out there too. Any questions?
What you getting into on these county roads? Years ago, you didn't have the 18-wheelers, and log trucks, sand trucks and stuff like we do now.
Yes.
And we always have had it up north because of the timber industry and the dirt and oil wells and stuff like that. But it's going to continue to be a problem.
And especially with all the rain we've had so far and the rain that's coming.
It's been a wet year.
It's been a wet year. We started fixing some of these base failures about 2 weeks ago, and we had to quit because the road was so saturated and our equipment was tearing up the road. So we had to wait.
Dry up.
It's going to have to dry up a little bit more before we can start fixing base failures. We can keep patching potholes. As far as digging out base failures with a piece of equipment, it's hard to do right now without making a bigger mess.
Well, I'm thinking about it, Roger. I'm going to stop by and talk to Dale and have him get a hold of you, that company that took out that drag line.
Okay.
Because overall, it's not bad, but we got some places tearing up. And
Yeah, we got 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah, we got several spots
And
on
this company
2,500.
said they would fix them, so we're fixing to find out.
Okay.
I'll tell them to get a hold of you.
Okay. Are they through with the drag line now?
I think they are. I had drove out there, but I cannot see anything from the
Right.
road. I think they all got it out, but I think they're bringing some trucks in for somewhere else, for something else. I don't know if they're hauling ash out of there or what they're doing.
Yeah, I know, at least 2 weeks ago, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, when they're coming out on that road turning with all that weight, that's what's tearing it.
Yeah, 2,500 had a lot of spots that were pushing out.
Roger, I just wanted to let you know too that I do have the barricades built.
Okay.
And if y'all will get me the signs that you want on them, all I like having them done, I've got them built, but I've got to paint them. And as soon as I get them painted, if you get me those signs, I'll get them on there and get the reflector tape put on it.
Do you have enough reflective tape, or we need to order some?
Well, I've got one full roll and just a little bit on another roll, so I don't know for sure exactly how far it's going to go. It's old stuff too that come from my, over at my yard over there. So I don't know if the stick them still good on it or what, but.
Well, if it looks like you're gonna run out, give us a call, and we'll
Okay.
get another roll.
If you'll get me the signs, I'll go ahead and mount them, too.
We ain't got signs yet, but we'll get
Yeah.
the signs.
One problem I found out about these plastic barricades, they blow over.
Yeah.
The winds will blow them off the road. We thought at one time somebody was knocking the barricades down or taking them off, and so I went and put the barricades up back over at that project last week, got them back up, and I didn't get back in my truck good
So
till,
it blew over again.
there they went blowing, the wind picked up.
Well, these are made out of treated pine, so I think they'll be.
These are
These are gonna work better than those, especially in a windy day.
the legs are 2x6s and the cross piece is 1x6. So they're heavy enough that the wind, it would have to be a good wind to blow it over. So.
All right, anything else?
Let me ask you, County Road 4550, what would it take to fix that road so it wouldn't flood?
4550?
Yes, sir.
Well, you've got an option. You can get with the state, since it's on the all-system bridge replacement program. And all-system bridge replacement program, what the state does, they get federal funds to replace a structurally deficient bridge, okay? So all they get as far as federal funds is enough to put the bridge back with the same hydraulic, basically the same size it is now, okay? If you want to upgrade the bridge and you want the state to build it for you, the county can pay for the upgrades. Like if you tell them that you want a structure there to pass a 5-year flood, okay, then they'll design you a structure that'll pass a 5-year flood. It's probably going to be a bridge span type structure probably, just due to the amount of water we have out there. But the county has to pay the difference.
So to fix the bridge, what would it cost to fix?
It'd probably cost the county another $2 or $3 million.
Mr. Fitch in his campaign said that it was the engineer's fault that it ain't fixed.
4550?
Yeah, the reason it flooded every time it rains.
Reason it floods every time, because it starts up here in Mount Pleasant, it's Hart's Creek. Then it goes down that creek, and that bridge was built by Precinct 4, and it's got 16-inch I-beams under it, every 2 feet apart. I was wanting to put that on the off-road bridge system and let the
And
state
it
build
is.
it.
It's actually on the program to be replaced right now.
Yeah.
But the county has the option. They can pay more money to get it upgraded.
Now,
But
that
it's at
bottom
the
down
county's
through there
expense.
floods, and if you raise that road, let's say 8 feet, 6 to 8 feet, to keep it from getting over the road, you're probably looking at a lot more than 2 or 3 million.
Yeah.
How many million you say?
Probably $2 or $3 million extra.
That would be the upgrade cost?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If not more, you're gonna have
What's
to
the
buy a
cost
right
of the bridge? What's the cost of the bridge just to rebuild it, just as it is?
The box culvert itself, they usually run between $300,000 to $500,000. I think what most of those projects went for in the past.
We had some bridges and off-road bridge system, 32 new bridges were built in Titus County, and there were some of those big box covers went to 800,000. We did 32
Depends on the
bridges for
size.
about over $8 million.
So the upgrade cost drives that project 2 or 3, 4 times higher?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I mean, the county's always had that option. They could have upgraded every one. It's just, I don't think anybody wanted to pay the additional cost to do it.
We
Because
had
it's
railroad
expensive.
car bridges is what we had. And all those were replaced with concrete bridges.
And right now, we've got 2 still on the list to be replaced. We were trying to get another one, but it's not gonna meet the
Added
program.
that one, and one other.
the one
Now, did
we,
you have a bridge?
The one we removed the bridge on and replaced it with a culvert temporarily, that one and 4550. That's the only 2 that are on the list right now to be replaced. We were trying to get one down there for Glenn Calvert's place, I can't remember the,
4765.
but it's not gonna meet the requirements because it's not a 20-foot span bridge at this point. It has to meet the definition of a bridge, it has to have a 20-foot clear span. And there's no way we can get that one to make that definition. So that bridge is gonna be ours from now on.
Well, back to his first question, what is the, it floods when we have a bad rain?
The implication was it was the engineer's fault that it floods every time it rains.
Well, is it the bridge? What's causing this flooding
It's
issue?
a road.
Well,
It's low right through there.
basically, the road is the same elevation as the floodplain. So once the creek gets up out of the low flow channel and starts going overland, it's gonna go over the road.
That whole bottom is,
The same as
what, a half
precinct
mile
1,
across there,
1 and 3.
that whole bottom
Right.
will be underwater.
Well, is upgrading the bridge going to fix that problem?
You have to upgrade the bridge plus raise the embankment.
Raise the whole road.
You have to raise the road.
Okay, the flooding issue is occurring at the bridge, is that what's going
Well, the
on?
bridge in about, half a mile,
Half a
3/4
mile?
through
Yep.
there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, that's Hart's Creek, right? So if you start looking at what's underneath 49, of course, 49's got, and 4,000, both of those bridges are designed for a 25-year queue, okay? I don't think the county would ever want to put anything in to pay for something that went up to a 25-year queue. A 10 would probably be nice, you know, handle a 10-year flood. But still, you're looking at a bridge that's probably 200 foot long or better. And you'd have to at least get up probably 4 to 6 foot higher than what the existing road is.
It would have to be something like was put on the loop to ever handle it.
Yes. Of course, some of that long structure on 4,000 is actually spanning some wetlands too that they didn't want to let it go.
Yeah.
It didn't take that big of a bridge. Now, on 49, I think there's 2 bridges on 49. And if you added them together and put it down there, I mean, it'd be about that size. So, I mean, you're talking about, if you wanted to upgrade it, it'd cost you several $1 million to do it. But you have that option.
I'll remember that. Put it in the budget.
But Judge,
Yeah.
there was no, that was a county bridge, it had a railroad car over it at one time. That was in precinct 4, that's when it came. I took the Hart Creek Bridge and Thomas took the, what I call the Ray Price Road. And I built a new concrete bridge, wider than the road, but I knew 4,000, we were looking at that time, and putting a bridge up, going across Hart's Creek and stuff. I'm gonna say 80–90% of all the water in Mount Pleasant goes down Hart Creek. There might be some that goes to another contributor, but eventually it's going to Cypress, all of it. And we redid the bridge on this side because it was breaking in. On the other side, looked at it and was going to put it on the bridge program. We thought maybe those I-beams, trying to save money, but the off-road bridge system is paid for 32 bridges. We've got 2 more on there, and those were put on there.
Yeah, there's two on there now.
You got those on there?
Yes.
Or were they on there?
They were already on there.
Okay, well, I remember talking to you and telling you, we need to check with all the commissioners and see if they got any bridge, because that program's fixing to run out.
Yeah, and we looked at Jimmy's down there, but it's not gonna qualify.
It's got to qualify, or they're not gonna do it.
So there's no affordable fix for this flooding he's talking about?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's no good short-term fix. I mean, even when the state comes in there and replaces it, it's gonna flood just like it's flooding now.
Except you'll have a concrete
All they're doing
bridge.
is all they're doing is replacing a structurally deficient bridge with the one that has the same hydraulic carrying capacity as the one that's there now. So it's gonna be just like it is as far as how often it floods.
It'll be just like First Street out there. I mean, it's still,
Yeah.
if you go out First
Yeah.
Street out there to that bridge out there that's been replaced, it'll
Yeah, it didn't make a
be the
bit.
same thing. It didn't make a bit of difference for that. That road that half, 3/4 mile of road would have had to been raised all the way through there to ever kept, with a bridge to ever keep it.
All right. Anything else for Roger?
Judge, that's a great program, because I think they've changed it up sometime, where we used to pay 5% in kind.
Yes.
Is it different from that now?
Well, I'm not sure it is. I thought it was still 5% in kind.
Well, that could be cleaning out dishes, putting in new cupboards, all that could add, go towards that 5%. That's stuff you're gonna do anyway.
Right. All you had to do is fill out the paperwork, send
Do
it
the
in to the state.
paperwork. Now, it
And
takes a
basically,
while to do the paperwork.
it didn't cost you anything besides doing the paperwork.
Really, it did.
The piece of equipment that we voted to rent, what's the timetable on it as far as getting that second, is it a roller?
Yeah, we haven't pursued it yet. We had a couple of prices before we ever asked, so I think hopefully we can get something lined up pretty quick.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we'll go to the next items. Anything else? All right, let's move on to item number 5 and 6. 5 is to consider and possibly approve and accept the bid for a water truck. We had gone out for bids on those items, and I understand we've got some things to consider and discuss here.
Yeah, I'll let Philip come up and discuss these. Our options seem to be changing daily, and some of the trucks that were out there have already sold, so our options have got limited now, and that's kind of where we're at. I think he can probably explain it better than I can right now.
Well, what I've done is we've gone and looked at some of these cheaper trucks that we were, some of these cheaper trucks that was up in age, and they had, one of the companies that we went to had like 7 or 5 of them in stock that we could choose from. We was going to pick the right one and go have them put a bed on it, and we were on our way down there, and they told me, or called me on the way down there and said that all of those had sold the day before. So I'd contacted another company to go look at them in Texarkana, which were, the price of that one was quite a bit more, which a newer model, that's the reason why it's more, and it was sold. So he told me that since it was sold, he would go to there. He had another one that kind of comparable to the same one that we was going to go look at in Texarkana and Dallas. He drove it by, and we looked at it, and it looks pretty decent, which it's getting on up into price. While we were looking for all of those, some of the others that they bid on were kind of up in price, and they're over in Bryan, College Station, and what it is a fleet of trucks that they taken off of their line, where, and that's what they bid on. Here, this meets the criteria, what we sent out, and you just pick and choose whichever one you want. In the midst of looking at all of those, we've come across.
Make sure you know that you're talking about cab chassis versus?
Yes, just cab and chassis, and what we're planning on doing is just putting a new tank, getting the East Texas Truck Systems down in Tyler to put a new tank on it. In the midst of looking at all of those, we come across, well, we did price a new one, and what we priced we come across another one that was at $45,500 at a company out of Dallas, which is now this $45,500 is cheaper than anything that we have on bid now.
And that's the bid for a water truck, complete water truck.
Yeah.
That's fully equipped.
Fully equipped, that's correct. So by the time, I mean, this is what I'm thinking we should do, especially because this is cheaper than what I have found, which is not bid, that we went out for bids.
Tell them to see if they were on the other two complete ones.
Yes. The complete trucks
Comparison is,
was bid at $61,213, and the other one was bid at $62,565. So a little over $60,000.
and he's looking at the one that's $45,500.
And that's
Compared to that $60,000.
the $60,000 ones, the ones that we went out for the tank and truck both, yes. And that's the ones that we had went out for bids on. My recommendation is to cancel all the bids that we've got in, cancel all those, I guess, and see if I can't get the approval from the court. Talk to Carl, as long as it's under $50,000, and maybe try to see if we can see if we can purchase one of these trucks. Now, this truck that I've got a picture of now is already sold. They had two of them kind of close to alike, and both of those are gone. They expect two more this week or next week along the same lines of what this truck is, and they say they can sell it to me for $45,500 or less. Depends on the mileage and stuff like that. So I would recommend canceling our bid that we have, and then seeing if we can't go purchase one of these trucks, because if we go out for bids again on it, then I think these other two trucks that they're having built that'll be ready for this week or next week will be gone also. So we'll be back to the same square one where we're at now.
Why are they so much cheaper when you were looking at 60,000 plus?
I think it's the,
I don't know if there is a good reason.
Trucks are the same
It's
size.
already mounted.
yep.
Yeah.
Tank's already mounted up on it.
Yeah,
Maybe a
but
different
what
company
he's saying,
built it.
we had looked at some bids 2 weeks ago for a complete truck with a tank at $60,000 plus.
That's
And now
correct.
he finds this one for $45,000. I mean, that's 25%
Right.
less. Is this just a golden opportunity, or is there a reason why this is so much less?
I don't know why the bids were that high. I don't know why they're bidding them that high.
Okay. So the bids were higher than you expected?
That's correct.
You were expecting something more in this sub $50,000
That's
range?
correct, yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe a little less than the ones that were less. This is the cabin chassis, and then by the time we put the water tank and everything on it, we're up to about 30,000, type thing. So that's kind of where we were hoping to get, between 30 and 32, and they sold before we even got there.
Yeah, most of those cab and chassis went quick.
Carl, on the purchase, it's under $50,000.
You don't have to go out for bids, but what I was telling Philip, the way I would approach it is, y'all need to come up with the specs or whatever and then approve him to go. Because by the time they go out for bids, these things are all gone. So it's gonna have to be something, but y'all need to be comfortable with what he's going out and buying and give him the size trucks, the range of the age of the truck, something to go by when he goes to buy them. But you don't have to go out for bids on them, because they're under 50,000.
Well, we've gone out for bids. We know about what the bid prices are running. And here you have an opportunity to get something that maybe not as cheap as you had hoped, but relatively speaking, pretty good.
Maybe it was something we can actually, purchase and use.
So the court needs to be very comfortable with what they're telling you to go do.
I agree.
Have you looked at this truck in person?
No. In this truck I have a picture of that was sitting on the lot, it's already gone. And they had two of them exactly kind of close to the same. So the other two haven't been built yet. They're projected to be finished this week or next week, and just as soon as they get there, I would like to go look at them. And if it doesn't turn out to where we expect, then we're going to do something different.
Do you feel comfortable that you can go look at the truck and know you're getting the money for it?
I'm going to take Jeff with me. Yeah, Jeff and I have been going, and Jeff is really good about that.
All the stuff we've bought in the past, we always take the head mechanic and go through it completely.
Where would you go to see these, Brian?
This one is in Dallas.
Okay.
And I do have the option to use our bids and still go to Bryan College Station, but we run the risk by the time we get there, and they're going to be higher than what this 45.5 is also. So I really wouldn't recommend that.
So your recommendation is to express your interest to this company and be there first in line when that thing is ready, and hope to get it a good one for $45,000.
Somewhere around in that area, yes. And it also gives me the option to talk him down off of that 45.5 too. I don't know how much that will help because they're selling so fast. So.
Judge, I sure don't have any problem with them going looking at it in jail, but they're going to have some authority to either do it or not do it.
And if one of the commissioners wanted to go with us, then I'm welcome them to do that also.
I wouldn't mind going if,
Sir?
I said I wouldn't mind going, but I don't want the monkey on my back saying that,
Well,
Bucky's going to be on Jeff's back, but he's the head mechanic, and he's...
Well, and it's a used truck, guys. And anytime you buy a used truck, he goes over them really well. And then some of the things that I have seen or I haven't seen, he has seen, and vice versa, type thing on some of the other trucks that we looked at that are already sold now. But
he's very good at spotting problems.
He's really good at it.
He looks for every little seeping oil leak on the truck. He drives the truck. I think he does a very good job of finding the problems on the trucks.
Now, we've looked at several. I say several. There's been 3 or 4 now.
So you need an authorization to go and spend X dollars on a truck.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to have, yes.
Stay under 50,000.
Okay, I'll make a motion that y'all go look at this, you and jail,
Or if if Jimmy wants to go, or Dana.
y'all look at it and stuff, because, we've always done stuff like that, and we'd always take the head mechanic and drive it. Every piece of equipment that we've bought at these sales like this, where we've looked them over really well, has turned out to be really good equipment. So I make that.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second to authorize Philip and Jeff and Jimmy to go and look at one of these trucks as soon as it's ready, and to negotiate the best price not to exceed $50,000.
9.
I got you.
Not
And
$49,995.
something else, is this coming out of a fleet of vehicles?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. You know,
Those fleet trucks are usually well-maintained,
they're
and
well
the ones that
maintained.
we've
Also,
seen
they
have
have a
been.
folder on them, everything that's been done to them.
That's
So if
correct.
you get a chance, if they've got that,
We will.
if you can get that.
And usually these companies that we've talked to, whenever we do mention the leaks and stuff like that, they're very willing to fix them, type thing. That one that guy from Texarkana brought by, there was a couple, 2 or 3 things wrong with it, and he said, yeah, it's no problem, we'll look at it, type thing, we'll fix it before we purchase it, so.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Jimmy, don't let us down. Now,
Monkey just jumped on your back.
all right, that takes care of,
That motion needs to include rescinding the bid. The motion needs to include.
let's get a separate motion on that to rescind those bids on the water truck.
I'll make that motion.
Second motion is to rescind any outstanding bids on comparable equipment that we had requested previously. Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So does this decision takes care of both 5 and 6, water truck and the cab and chassis?
Yes.
All right. So just so I make sure we don't ignore this agenda item, item 5 was for a complete water truck. Item 6 was for a cab and chassis only that would need to be fitted to a new
The water
tank.
tank would have to be added to the
Okay,
cabin.
so item number 6 is a no action item because it's not necessary. We've made a decision to buy a complete water truck. We do not need a cab and chassis only.
No, you have to rescind that bid too.
Because we did get some bids on that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we
that's
got-
right.
We got bids both ways for water truck.
We got bids, that's right, we did get bids both ways. Okay, so item number 6, let's rescind the motion on the cab and chassis only. We previously rescinded for the purchase of a water truck. Now we'll, on item number 6, vote to rescind any and all bids on cab and chassis only. Motion by Commissioner Fields.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye. Okay, let's move on to item number 7, consider and possibly authorize the county road engineer to correct drainage issue on private property on County Road 2325. Here is an issue. We know under virtually all circumstances, we don't do work on private property, but we have a situation here, I understand, where we need to get on private property to correct a drainage issue that is negatively impacting our county road. Commissioner Fields.
Okay, this is something we've been working on, I think, the last year or two, and this is on County Road 2325. And it's not a, it's a drainage area, but it doesn't continually run with water or anything like that, no springs or anything. When it rains, the down hillside of that has filtered in, and a lot of things, it's just not draining. Every time it rains, the road, water backs up. It'd be very easy to correct. Mr. William Smith owned the land. He's the only landowner involved in this. It needs to be the great oil. I think great oil or backhoe can pretty well take care of that
Right.
issue.
Yeah, we should be able to just take that grate all in there, as long as it's dry enough, and be able to scoop this out and make a nice little channel
Okay,
that he
has to
can
be-
mow.
It had to be dry. It's not a deep ditch or anything like it. It's just a drainage. And when it's not wet, then it stays dry all the time. But what it's doing now, it's backing up in the ditches, it's backing over the road, and on the ditch on the other side. And that's the only way in there and the only way out, and we're probably looking
Right.
at.
There was also problems, we're causing problems for Mr. Smith. It was eroding his driveway out, and where it was dumping the water, he was down there close to his house. It was in his septic field, and his septic service kept backing up inside the house. So he had a problem with his septic tank, and also his driveway eroding out all the time.
Is this a private property problem that needs to be fixed by the landowner? I want to be sure I'm
No,
real
not
comfortable
necessarily,
with
because
this.
we've got drainage issues on the north side of the road. We need to install a cross drainage structure and actually get the water underneath the road. It just stands on the ditch on the north side.
So this isn't as a result of neglect by a landowner not taking care of his property that's
No.
negatively affecting us?
No.
Now, this, and I talked with Philip, that what kind of made it a little bit complicated, Mr. Smith passed away, okay? So his brother-in-law is over the estate, and he is in charge of the estate, and he has the authority to sign this, and y'all have got his signature,
Yes.
and
Mr. Ronald Anderson.
Ronald Anderson. And you got to be real careful with stuff like this, because you have, this person who's in charge of it gives us permission to work in this area and this area only. I don't believe there's a fence on that side at all. You're not looking at taking a fence down?
Yeah, I think there is a fence. We'll have to take it
Okay.
down and put it back.
But anyway, you're not looking at a big drainage problem to the point the road floods every time, but it needs to be corrected, because at some point in time, the base and all that's going to crumble down, and you're going to have a mess there. You have to get this signed. John Mark also, I have not had a chance to sit down and talk with him. This is an easement. This is agreement for you to go on that property and correct this water problem, because it's not on the road and stuff. That would get it all corrected.
Right.
You might want to go over again what you plan on doing there.
What we're planning on doing is we're going to put a 24-inch cross drainage structure under the road to convey the water from the north side of the road to the south side of the road. We've got water standing in the ditch all along the north side now that can't go anywhere else. So we need to get it under the road, and we can discharge it on the other side by just digging a shallow ditch about 50 foot out away from the roadbed, and the water should go down the hill, and that should solve the problem that we've got along the roadway with water standing on the north side, and it should help with his problem about water going down his driveway and washing it out all the time.
And John Mark's always good at like looking at this easement that's there. 3 years ago, we did one on Larry White over there, and we had 4 landowners involved. We only got on one person's land, and it was, every time it rained, it'd flood. It was a blockage downstream. I think it was a beaver dam, or it was involved, and all these dead trees and stuff. But anyway, we were able to get it open, but we're still, at some point in time, that's going to block up again, and you're going to have more problems. But right now, it's working fair.
And we believe that this is a situation unlike that other one where we were considering doing a handicap ramp on private property. Here is for the benefit of the county here to get on private property and do work on private property. This is more a permission from a private landowner to get on his property to fix a county problem.
Right. It's not a permanent drainage easement. It's just a temporary easement. We get out there, we do our work, and we're done.
All right, need a motion. Motion's made by Commissioner Applewhite to authorize our road engineer department to correct this drainage issue on County Road 2325 with the permission of the landowner. Second. Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Okay.
Also, Roger, you might, you showed this final product here to John Mark.
Yeah, no, I have not the final product. I showed him the initial product.
Okay.
But I'll show him the final product.
If you would go ahead and show him. And the day you do that, I would recommend, because it's something I always did, call the sheriff's department and let them know what you're doing.
You said we need a copy of this. She needs a copy of this. All right, moving along to item number 8. We're down to our oral and written reports.
I got a request for the physicals for guys that work on the road bridge department. Sometimes we pay for these people, I didn't get some kind of account from y'all. We pay for the physicals for the sheriff department.
So that's a new hire.
Or new hire. But not ongoing. These guys, I believe they have to have a,
That's their DOT for
yes, how often do they have to have it?
once a year.
Okay, if you have problems, it's once a year. If you have no problems, it's every 2 years.
So, is the county going to pay for these physicals?
What have we done in the past?
Well, what I can tell, some years sometimes we pay for them, sometimes we haven't.
This is different from just their wellness exam that's covered
This is
under our insurance.
This is a DOT deal, this is a license.
They have to go to a specified provider to get this kind of a physical.
What license are you going after, A or B?
It doesn't
I
matter.
think each one. Doesn't matter.
What does that physical cost?
This is $69.
Who did it?
Dr. Murray.
I think if we require them to have, which we do require them to have a Class A or a Class B, then I think we should pay for it.
We had a long discussion a couple of years ago about the CDL license. Do we pay for the license? I think we do.
What y'all want to do?
Make a motion, we pay for it.
Up to a certain amount?
What, are you just doing a basic physical on this? What is required? Philip, I know you've been through these.
It's just DOT physical. All of them are the same. There's only certain doctors that can do it. I don't know if we can work with the doctors that do it. And see if we can get a certain
What we
dollar.
did,
I'm sorry?
I think we had our, one doctor was county doctor that did it, and that way we knew what the price was.
County doctor.
Well, I say county doctor. We asked the different doctors if they would do it, if they wanted, if they would do it, what would be their price to do a physical.
But you can't take,
Can't take action on anyone.
No, you can't take
You
action.
put it on the next agenda and decide what y'all want to do.
Okay, we'll put something on that next agenda. So let's be thinking about how you want to do that. Give them an allowance up to $100 or something like that for this.
$75.
$75. Okay, we'll have that on next agenda.
Okay.
Is that DOT exam any different than the one we require an employee to have?
That's correct. It is.
It is.
Where's this money for the law library fund coming from? Just a transfer of money over there.
Yeah. How does it feel to you? But over the next
Is that just an annual transfer?
No, it was caused by the fact that we switched companies, we couldn't get out of contract with the other one, that's what, for 1 year, we pay a little bit more, put more money on the budget.
Okay.
That's all that's over the You'll see that budget.
We just do it as needed?
Yes, hopefully.
Make a motion to approve the oral and written report.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker to approve these oral written reports. Second made by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor of approval, say aye. Item number 9 is our consideration of the treasurer's report.
Thank you.
Roger, when I'm thinking about it, when you get all the paperwork and stuff done, you would make a copy of that and put that in your permanent files.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Second's made by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, need your signatures there. Item 10 is to approve budget amendments.
This is number 16, approve that. First one, number 16 is to budget out of courthouse security for the part-time bailiff. We discussed that a while back.
That's for the sheriff department when they help the bailiff.
I mean, it's a month before, but they're paying out of the security fund for it, so I just need to budget them amounts. Number 17 is just some line item changes inside the road and bridge, moving some money out of lateral road and capital outlay to oil sand. Number 18, this is part of what you were talking about a while ago. This is transferring $13,000 to the law library fund. We also need to transfer $12,000 for juvenile detention. It's running a little higher than, last couple of years it hasn't been very high. Several years ago it got real high. I was thinking it was lower last year, but anyway, because I usually budget them based on their report, and I need a little more money over there because it looks like it's going to run a little higher. That's what we paid to have the juveniles detained in Longview, and that's $12,000, so that's $25,000 that's coming out of contingency. And then inside, number 19 is just inside the law library fund where I'm reporting the $13,000 transfer over here in this fund. That's it.
I'd need to go back over any of these more items, 17, 18, and 19.
Make a motion, approve the budget.
Motion made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve these budget amendments. Second is made by Commissioner Fields. All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Item 11, sign pay orders, approve payment of the bills.
Make a motion to pay our bill.
Motion's made by Commissioner Parker.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 12, closing comments. I'll start on my left side. Commissioner Parker, anything?
Don't think so, Judge.
Commissioner Applewhite?
First of all, I'd like to thank Tim and them for going out there, Sheriff Ingram for going out there on 1905 and picking up the trash out there, or some of that blacktop, that main road. And Jeff Seaton, I'd like to bring you, he helped us on this handicapped child driveway. He took material out there, took his tractor out there and done it all himself. And I want to appreciate Seaton Construction for doing
Yeah.
that. I also want to thank Bill Whitaker with Span because they was going to donate. Nobody else was, so I want to appreciate Span and Bill Whitaker.
And tell him what that project was. That was kind of a behind-the-scenes deal.
Well, there's a handicapped kid that's out there pining, which is, he's in a wheelchair, and he's having trouble getting out of his, getting the bus up there to pick him up. And he's a real delightful little young man, and, you know, he asked us to help him, but we couldn't. But we found people that would help him. And let's see, Jeff Seaton, he took care of it all. So I want to appreciate it.
We were not able to use county funds to do that as badly needed as it was. We did have John Mark take a look at that, and I think Commissioner Fields contacted Allison Bass, and sorry you can't do work for a private citizen on their property. And so with Dana's coordination and Craig Clemens with the bus coordinator for the school, they solicited some private funds, and turns out Jeff Seaton donated it all. And yeah, that's a nice thing that he did, and several $100s worth of material and plus time to get that done. So very nice. And then Span ended up not needing anything from Span because Jeff took care of it, but Span had offered to do that.
Right. Yes, sir.
Good folks. All right. Thanks to our first responders. And did you have to provide much personnel on that horrific wreck?
We helped just a little bit with traffic. DPS did most of that. DPS had that task on that.
Why did it take an hour for them to fix that first wreck?
I have no idea. You need to contact DPS and ask them that.
That's what I was just wondering.
Don't know anything about that.
That's what caused the second wreck.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know what she's talking about. I don't know why it took so long.
Backed up from that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 miles. Yeah, it's quite a ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure will.
Not where the traffic is on Interstate 30 right now. It's back to back all the way. That one lane up there where that new rest area is at, it's horrific there. It's just one lane on both sides.
Yep.
And that holds up traffic.
Yeah. Very, very dangerous. But anyway, I know our first responders were challenged greatly on that wreck. Probably one of the worst we've ever seen around here. Just an awful situation. I don't have anything.
Judge, all I have is, again, repeat what Danny said about these people. You really find out you got some good people in the county. You got a situation like this. This is a child, special ed child, laid in a wheelchair. And the rain and stuff we've had the last couple of months made it just about impossible to get that bus up there where they can pick the wheelchair and stuff up. As the county, we couldn't go on there. And we talked about this, and people in Titus County always amazes me because they're ready to step up to the plate and help. This is a situation that needed help, and they took care of it. Thank you, and the people who volunteered their time and stuff. Also, Tim, I want to thank you for on County Road 2300. Y'all been picking the trash, not through with it, but I think the last report I had Friday, they had picked up 26 bags of trash. That's a lot of trash to be picked up off the road. So do appreciate it very much, and all the residents out there appreciate it. But anyway, thank you.
What does it take to coordinate an effort like that? How many inmates do you take, and how much personnel?
This past week, we had 2 different crews. We had, I think, a total of 5 inmates out, 3 on one crew, 3 female crew together, and a crew of 2 males. It just depends on what we've got going on, how many transports we've got going on. We've got court going on. Just when the time hits right, we've got people to get out and do it, and we do it. And also, we've got to have trustees that we can
Trust.
Yeah, our inmate workers. So, you know, they have to be low level, you know, crime. And so we have, when all that comes together, then we get crews out.
Okay, good deal. Thank you very much. Anything else, Commissioner?
No, sir. I don't have.
Okay. All right. Anything else today? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Applewhite.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. All right, thank you, everyone.